I forgot to unmute the mic. We're good. Good morning and Happy New Year. This new year may be a repeat of some aspects of 2021 and 2020, but it is still another year, another go around to dream, hope, and act. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Stop. It's been a hard and disappointing 2 years. Disrupted plans and deferred dreams. Saying final goodbyes to friends, loved ones, and acquaintances we have not said hello to in a long, long time. We hoped that things would have been different. I don't know about you, but I feel like my hope tank is empty. And it is only by faith and the fumes of hope that I am able to keep moving forward. Of course, I can refill my tank, and I will. But when I do that, what will it mean? Does it mean I'll always be optimistic, chirpy, and ready to take on the world? Does it mean I'll give the brightest eye smile, the ones you do because you have on the face mask and it's still part of essential wear? What does it mean to refill with hope? Or probably I should start off defining and exploring hope. I think hope means hanging on to the changes that occur around us with the anticipation that at some point, and at least for a while, things will settle down and we can find a sense of stability to make the decisions that best serve us. In A Feminine Ethic of Risk, Sharon Welch puts it this way: hope doesn't deny the complexity of our lives or the difficulty of the choices we make. Instead, it is a dance between the messiness of life and the connectedness of life that produces something grand and glorious. I might be asking a silly question, but what is messy and complicated in your life right now? Do you face a difficult decision in a situation that seems to have a no-win outcome? How will you face this difficulty? Do you find yourself stuck between choices of a push-pull, tug-of-war nature? I bet it's messy and painful. Yet, if we could find a way to make the pieces dance together, like the lead and follow of a waltz or a tango, we might get that beautiful, grand, and glorious result Welch talks about. When I think of complex, easily I think of this ongoing pandemic. The times when it feels as though we have taken 5 steps forward, such as the availability of vaccines, only to take 3 steps back from issues like the Omicron variant. The push for all things to look and feel like pre COVID, and the pull of opportunities that our present reality hints at. Our church, like many other churches, while hoping and planning for a return to normalcy, also took steps to innovate and adapt to the technology that made connections in the distance possible. We have given members who moved away opportunities to tune into our services and events despite the distance. Today, we're having an opportunity for members from my ministry, Communities of Restoration, to be present in our service. And you have given me a chance to be an intern from Jamaica, 2,700 miles and some time zone differences. Because of the technology, we now broadcast our services. And because we broadcast our services, we record our services. And because we do that, we have the potential to repurpose them and extend or reach beyond the four walls of our building on a Sunday morning. These, in my mind, were hope-filled actions. A hope-filled action is an active hope. We are putting action to our wishes and plans. Action, not a bag of mouth, as the song says. Paraphrasing Chris Johnstone and Joanna Macy, they say, active hope involves playing a direct role in bringing about the things we hope for. We do not wait for the conditions to be right, perfect, favorable. Instead, we identify the goal, the dream, the hope, and then we take the best actions that will get us there. Hope, active hope, is intentional. Even if it's just the fumes of hope, it is a space where decisions are made and actions are taken. Hope can set us up for joyous moments. Over the past few weeks, I have invited your participation in crafting today's sermon. I got a few responses. However, if you missed the newsletter or did not get around to sharing your responses, here is one more chance. We're going to pause twice during this message to reflect on two questions. I invite you to participate either by using the technology or Zoom chat or writing your responses in a nearby notebook or notepad. In the year that has been, it might be hard to immediately think of something you would call the highlight of your year. But I would like to think that something, no matter how small, exists. I had a lot of sorrow this past year, and in the last 2 months of the year, I lost 4 or 5 people. And at other times, and even during that time, I felt as if I could not find up from down. Yet one of my most joyful moments, simple moment, was sitting at my desk and hearing birds right outside my window. In other instances, your highlight might not necessarily be joyous. Maybe it was highly intentional, maybe even a lot or a little scary. One of the persons who responded before today shared how responding to the questions helped her recognize that there were indeed some good things that happened in the past year. So, with that, I would like to invite you into a potentially messy but beautiful dance. As I mentioned before, we are going to use a bit of technology. In the chat, you will find a link to a website called Mentimeter that will have the following questions. What was your highest or most joyful moment of 2021? Was it intentional? After you have answered, you can return to this Zoom screen as we will have the results page up. You can also share your responses here in the chat if you would prefer.
Bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, days are breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? Days are breaking in my soul. They are sowing seeds of gladness. They are sowing seeds of gladness. They are sowing seeds of gladness. Days are breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Days are breaking in my soul. They are in the fields of plowing. They are in the fields of plowing. They are in the fields of plowing. Days are breaking in my soul.
Thank you for engaging this dance and for sharing. Writing my first book, visit from my dad, publishing my memoir and sharing it with the church, a visit from my mother, having Angeline join us, starting new families or expanding existing ones, being able to hug others, moving across the country, getting vaccinated, sharing music, seeing the MFC. I have not read out all the responses, but what do you hear and see in these answers? What strikes me is that each response, though containing potential for risk, was filled with hope. Hope you acted on, and you did so not knowing exactly what the results would be, even though you expected a particular result. And I call that faith. Hebrews 11, verse 1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This passage from Hebrews is a Bible passage I learned as a child and which has never left my memory. It helps me articulate my understanding of faith as that which I can neither see, touch, nor hear. yet it is a powerful force that pushes me forward. It complements my hope. By faith, I choose to believe that no matter how crappy the year has been, something will happen, even once, no matter how small, that will bring me joy. Faith is that intangible thing that fuels my hope. And with faith, I look forward to the year ahead. I do not know what is in store, how many more lockdowns or spiraling COVID cases, who next will die or who will give birth unexpectedly. But I know what I hope to see. And even though I have no certainty that what I hope for will be what happens, I can still make my plans and stack my deck. How about you? Do hope and faith help you plan for what lies ahead? How are you stacking your 2022 deck? What would you like to see on the agenda for your 2022? I invite you to join me once more in this exercise, this dance. In the chat, you will again find the link to the website and the question, what one thing do you want to get done in 2022? Please share your responses.
For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dusk and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Keep writing, spending more time outside hiking in our beautiful mountains. Continue my intense inner work, both spiritual and I lost that one. Contribute to positive change in the world. More creativity, intentional celebrations, family expansions like getting a dog, decluttering, like making my house a home, embarking on greater health consciousness, conversation, and establishing legacies, holding spaces for the healing and forward movement of our church community. What do you see and feel when you read and hear these responses? What I see and hear is that these are plans, dreams set in the uncertainty of life, yet hopeful for what can be. These hopes are also actionable. You are not waiting around for things to be better or different. You are putting the plans in place and taking steps to get there. You are acting on faith. Hope grounded in the divine. Hope in our potential. Hope because we are stubborn enough to believe in hope. Wherever our hope has its roots, we find in it the ability to face life, face uncertainties, and overcome doubt. Hope gives us a kind of armor to take actions even when they are risky. Sharing the words of Emily Towns, Sharon Welch continues, when we truly believe in this hope, it will order and shape our lives in ways that are not yet predictable, not always safe, rarely conventional. With hope, we do not give up, for we answer life with life. Yeah, it is another year, 2022. Another chance for us to answer life with life. Another chance to dream, hope, and act. For hope, as the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu says, is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. Amen.